Hey there, Mark, Action Figuratorium unboxing video for you today. This is from Horsemen's Mythic Legion line. This is actually a figure called Morgolyth. Pop this up. Yeah, check that out. That is what is in the box we have today. This is not a new figure from them. This is considered new old stock, meaning this is a figure that they released in a previous campaign that they had kicking around. So it could be a return or a factory second, a scratch and dent. Maybe it's a blem, a scuff, it's missing accessories. I don't know. We're gonna find out. It's all in this box here, which I opened to make sure that it was in the box, but I have not reviewed the toy yet. So that's gonna be coming up today. All right, here we are back at this unboxing of a Morgolyth figure from Horsemen. And what you need to know about these guys is they are a group of sculptors who have worked with a lot of different brands over the years. They've really cut their teeth with some pretty big weights. They've worked for McFarlane, they've done Harry Potter, they've done DC Comics Classics, they did the fantastic Masters of the Universe Classics, which I'm not a fan of the Motu stuff, but after you see what the Four Horsemen did with it, you will be a fan, put it that way. So it's really cool to see them creating their own IP, which is called Mythic Legions, and Mythic Legions is a sort of homage to every and all fantasy realms. It's one of those meta, postmodern looks at fantasy where anything is possible within these guys' little universe of fantasy. And so to see this Queen Lich figure come up on the Friday sale was quite a surprise, and it's pretty cool thing. So before we get into the toy itself, and this may be kind of a slower part of the review, but I think it's actually the most important part of the reviews. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the box and the packaging and the experience that goes with it. If you are a marketing person, you're going to love this segment. If you just want to talk about toys, you may want to skip ahead a minute or so. It won't take long. So the toy comes in this cardboard box, right, which is fine. And there's a lot of missed opportunities as far as growing your brand and getting more sales from a customer that you know has spent money with you. They've proven it, it's right here, right? And it seems like someone that would be ready to spend even more money with you. And I'm going to point all these things out because they are in fact important, especially to the building of a company like the Four Horsemen. So there's no branding on the box. This is a huge missed opportunity. I realize, yeah, if you want cardboard with stuff printed on it, it's going to cost more money. You're going to have to get into ROI, return on investment, on what that really does for your brand in terms of like being able to charge a little bit more for it, or retention of customers, or people who tell their friends about you and grow it that way. So if you don't have some kind of like cool printed tape or something cool printed on the cardboard itself, in which I could see people actually collecting the boxes, you're really missing an opportunity. So when you open this thing up, inside of it is packing list, of course, is the character, right, and nothing else. So there's not like a crumpled up piece of packing paper or bubble wrap or anything like that. And I realize that a lot of people who sell toys, like Big Bad Toy Store, they have a couple different shipping rates. There's a rate that's for people who just want to get things as cheap as possible, and they're like, yeah, just throw it in a box, send it to me. And then there's collector rate, people who actually want their toy to come in all that wrap, etc. And I could see, when I went through the checkout, I was clicking, you know, because you have literally 120 seconds to try to get a toy off their website. And when it comes around to these sales, they open it up at 12 o'clock noon Pacific time, where I'm at, 3 Eastern, and if you miss by like 30 seconds, you're not going to get anything. And these things are about a third of what they go for secondhand eBay auctions. So it's really a deal, an investment if nothing else, to get one of these. And I realize that, yeah, there could be a collector way of shipping it, but I'm a little surprised, to be honest. If you make a product and it's an expensive product and it's worthy of packing material, and you're a brand which sells something worthy of packing material, you should put packing material in, especially if they're paying shipping and handling. And yeah, I went over the collector rate, etc. Still, these are just small details. All right, so it sounds like harping. It's not harping. These are actually important parts of reviewing from a marketing standpoint, how your toy line is doing against all others. So next we're going to go to the packing list, which is, there's fine, nothing wrong with this. I am a little surprised that there isn't like a personal signature like on it, a thank you or anything. Yeah, it does take someone's time to print out the piece of paper, take the pen, thanks for your order, Chucky or whatever, I don't know, and stick it in. Understand that ROI, if it's worth someone's time to do that, if the customer sees that and has a positive experience and buys more, you should be doing it. And the other thing that really surprised me about this, and it's a huge missed opportunity, is there's nothing else with this. There's no other GAC, and that is really, really surprising. And what is GAC? GAC is a live event term, say rock and roll industry, sort of specifically, that just means a bunch of little knickknacks and junk that might be in a case. For example, a guy might be, a roadie might be on tour and he has a case that's got like a wrench in it, a screwdriver, some E-tape, maybe some batteries, rack screws, and he would just say that that's all just GAC. It's just it's like a junk drawer, right? And usually people will send some type of junk drawer, GAC type stuff with your package. Like Sweetwater, for example, who sells musical instruments and recording equipment, they throw in some candy with it, So when you get your item and you're bummed, there's a Fireball with it. And I've seen catalogs come with like stuff I bought, like Monsters in Motion, which is an online toy store, sent this huge catalog with the Iron Maiden Eddie figure I bought, and the catalog was so big and heavy that I couldn't magnet it to the fridge without it falling off. And so you expect to see something like that, not quite catalog size, but you'd expect to see like a brochure, right? I mean, it's a perfect time to market to someone if you got something new coming out, or there's something you're trying to push, or something that they don't know exists. Like I think these guys have a like a game, like a board game or a card game or an RPG game or something that they're working on, and a brochure for that, or what the next wave is going to be, or are there going to be more sales, things like that. What about a sticker? I realize it costs money to print up stickers, but you put a sticker in with this and all of a sudden you just increase the value of the order to someone. So that's all missed opportunities from the Four Horsemen, and I'm a little surprised because I think of these guys as a pretty high premium brand, and when you have a high premium brand, you kind of get that stuff with it. It's a way of doing customer retention, and when times are lean, companies will cut back on that stuff. I remember the Ernie Ball company, who makes guitar strings and accessories, they would always throw in free shirts and free hats and free Ernie Ball clocks and all sorts of crazy stuff. And when things got kind of lean, that stuff stopped, but when they got flush again, they started putting it back in. And so, little surprised that there was nothing more than an unsigned packing list. So, with that, let's move over to the other camera, and let's open this thing up and take it out. All right, here is the figure in box, and we're going to open this up. Try to keep light on it as much as possible. So first thing is whether or not you have a reusable box. As I showed with the Mezco Breaking Bad figures, you had to destroy the package to get the box open. This is not that. This is where you peel back the plastic and you can release the figure. So we're hoping. We'll test. Actually, I think you can slide the card out, and the card on its own looks like that. That's kind of cool. I'll show you guys the back. There's some artwork. I forget the name for when you do cross-selling of other toys in the wave or the line. The figure on the list here that I would like to get is the Aja Spirit Bender. She's kind of the blue-skinned sorceress. I think that would be really cool. They go for a little bit more than I'm willing to spend at the moment. We'll see. All right, so here's what the figure looks like. We have a sealed bag of accessories. This is how they send these things with, For those who don't know, the Mythic Legions are figures that have interchangeable parts with other figures. The Four Horsemen encourage people to do customization and mods. All right, so this character has got this really wicked anime-looking sword. And it does come out. Oh, it's kind of hard plastic. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Silver and purple. Great job of, man, they did a great job on that. The paint looks great. The little sculpting on it looks great. So we're going to see if we can get this figure out. It is amazingly well produced. And I believe, does it say what it comes with? So all of these figures have a packing list of accessories, and I don't know if I'm missing any, but we said earlier that this is a possible return or factory second, a blem, maybe the paint on this one is subpar or something, put B stock, and by just looking at the figure, it appears quite good. Now, before you, as I say that, a piece falls off, and that piece just connects here. Okay. This is very cool, by the way. So before you really do something with these, you really should hit them with the blow dryer before you start moving the joints and posing them. And I want to get into that, but I also just want to get this character made and happening. So we're gonna, it's got a nice ball at the end of the neck for the head to go onto. The sword does not look like it fits in these hands. Maybe you just wear the sword. All right, so we've got some additional accessories here in the bag, and I would like to open this and put these on, but I'm also kind of fearful. You know, it's a thing about being a sort of a toy collector, is that you become fearful that you know, that it's going to go down in value if you open the package, even though this is just sealed by someone with a packing sealer, and I could probably reseal it myself. I have a packing sealer at home, by the way. I should really just open this because I could seal it later. But let's start with things like the cape. And I might have to go look online to see what my character is supposed to look like. But here she is standing here. Man, the neck moves great. So the cape has got, cape is just a piece of fabric with 4 holes punched in it. And I don't know how that works. So we are going to do a little online compare contrast to see how to get my figure looking as good as it can. All right, so I've decided to just open the pack of accessories and see what we get. We have a couple of shoulder pieces. We have a staff, which comes in 2 parts. We have a kind of a nice stabbing sword in addition to this weird kind of goofball fantasy sword, kind of very sort of World of Warcrafty, which I like. We also have a dagger and sheath, which is kind of cool. There is a leather belt, which could be cool. Then there are some weird oddball parts that are just kind of gray. They're not have any deco on them, and I don't know what they do, but we'll find out. We'll see if we can figure this mystery out. So let's start by putting the shoulder pads on, the pauldrons as they're called. There is a little circle indent in the back where it snaps in. Let's see if we can get one of these on. See if we can get the other one on. Okay, and that's pretty badass so far. That might have to be, I might need a sword in your hand after that. Alright, these hands, these fingers suck. Not really. Alright, how about that? Right now, currently left-handed. And a little side light in on it. Oh, look at that. Now there's this cape. And also, on the back there is a little insert for something. I believe you can get some wings, some skeletal wings that will go on the back, or I think they also do like some bat wings or demon wings, and I think they're all interchangeable, so if you get wings for it, I think it will fit any of these figures. I love the colors. The silver and purple is great. The leather belt looks like it can hold the how do you get the leather belt on? So the leather belt is one piece, and it has a little loop where the dagger goes, and I don't see an easy way to drag this over the character unless I sort of take it apart. We're going to hold on or hold off on the leather belt. And where did these pieces go? Do they fit? Okay, so one of these pieces fits in the back here, and I believe maybe that's what the wings connect to, one on each. So, so there's, they actually give me 2 of these. Okay, one's got little holes, one's got big holes, so you can put any assortment of wings. If you get 1.0 or 2.0 ones, I believe the Mythic Legions characters have a couple different body types. And then this piece also fits in the back, and I imagine that there's some other thing that could go in the back of that. So these are for converting whatever wings or other weird accessories that clip on the back of your figure. We are going to give this person the Staff of Power. Find the sweet spot there. A little further down. All right, more difficult to balance. Look at that. What do you guys think? The only thing I'm not having a good time with is the cape, and I feel like I may have to go online and read about the cape, because I think you have to, it's got 4 holes cut in it. I think you have to bring your own, or maybe I used the rubber band or something. Maybe I used parts from the packing to put a cape on this figure, but a cape would look great. So before I conclude this review, I know some people wanted to see how Mythic Legions Undead stands up with some previous incarnations, such as this Skeleton Warriors figure. Let's check this out. Overall, pretty excited for this figure. Probably keep it for a while, at least do some photos with these weirdos. See if I can move that without, so we can see the face. And really tough to balance this one. Kind of a bummer, but there you have it. It's the full gang. And let's take a shot for Instagrams. All right, so this is a quick wrap-up of unboxing this figure, pulling him out, and having a great time with it. This figure looks fantastic. There is so much great detail in the sculpting, in all the different parts, in the application of the paint, in the concept of the character. When you take this character and you put it in with the other Mythic Legion characters, it's an even cooler figure when you think about it, when you start putting this in with the Undead Legions. And then, as you just saw, you can throw in kind of any other undead figure with this character as sort of the lead, because the paint and sculpting is so over the top on this that any other figure you have is by default going to look like their minion. And so this gets a huge thumbs up on the product, and the price I paid for it is super amazing. Please take into account all the things I said earlier about the branding experience and the missed marketing opportunities with all the little small details that could go into the box. When a person opens that thing and they see a sticker, or they see a cool brochure, or you know, there's a little note, thanks for the purchase, from who's ever packing these things, really goes so far, especially when you're, you know, charging for a premium. You know, I mean, a lot of work went into this, but it's also a hunk of plastic. You know, like, you're not going to look to this to save yourself in a catastrophe. This is truly disposable income kind of money, and when you're at that kind of level of disposable income for this, I think you need to go all the way and really show people that you are very thankful for their support in helping getting this off the ground. So I have a lot more unboxing videos coming up. We're going to be doing some Iron Maiden Eddie. There is a Joy Toy figure. There's a 12-inch Lara Croft I'm going to unbox. This is all coming up pretty much this week in Action Figuratorium. If you can, you know, like, follow, etc., and we'll hit you back too.